All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about Good Friday. Now, when you hear Good Friday, you probably think of something pretty heavy, right? A day of sorrow. But what if there's more to it? What if we're invited to see something else entirely, a story of incredible love hidden inside all that suffering? That's what we're going to explore.
So, right off the bat, we're hit with this huge question. Is Good Friday just the sad end of a tragedy? Or is it actually something else? Could it be the climax of a massive cosmic rescue plan? That really changes how you look at it, doesn't it? Let's unpack that a bit.
Okay, so to really get the meaning of the cross, we can't just jump to the end. We've got to walk the path that leads there. And the perspective we're looking at today says this wasn't just a series of random terrible events. No, it was a journey of purposeful suffering. And it all kicks off with this incredible act of surrender.
We're going to break this journey down into three key moments. First up, we have this gut-wrenching prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane. Then we move to the courts for a trial that was, well, a complete injustice. And finally, there's the long walk to a place called Golgotha, carrying this unimaginable burden.
So it all starts in this garden, and the weight of what's about to happen is just crushing. The description here is so intense. It says the pain was so real, his sweat was like drops of blood. I mean, think about that. This is way more than just being scared of what's coming physically. This is about a deep, spiritual weight, almost too much for a person to bear.
And in the middle of all that agony, this is the prayer. Not my will, but yours be done. Wow. He's not asking for a way out. He's not trying to escape. This is a moment of total surrender to something much, much bigger. Honestly, this is the pivot point. Everything that happens next flows from this one decision.
From that moment of surrender, he's dragged into the courts, and the injustice is just staggering. You've got the accused, who's described as the righteous one, literally standing in the place of the guilty, of us. And then you have the opposition, where, as our source puts it, light is basically handed over to darkness. It's just a scene of pure cruelty.
And then, the walk to Golgotha. The source makes a really important point here. The cross he carried wasn't just a heavy piece of wood. It was so much more. It was a symbol for everything that's gone wrong with humanity. Our sin, our brokenness, the judgment we all deserve. So every single step was like a powerful statement, a commitment to see this mission through to the very end.
Which brings us to the cross itself. This isn't just the place where he died. It's framed as the main stage, the absolute climax of this whole story of redemption. It's the exact spot where two huge, seemingly opposite things, justice and love, are about to meet.
And here we are, back at our main idea. The cross isn't the final scene of a tragedy. No way. It's the pinnacle, the climax of redemption. It's the moment everything has been leading up to. So what exactly went down on that cross? This is where we get into some really deep stuff. The idea is that on the cross, two sides of God's character came together perfectly. You had God's justice, which demanded that there be a consequence for wrongdoing. A judgment had to be executed. But at the exact same time, you had God's love, which made a way for that to happen, releasing mercy for all of us. It's like the ultimate paradox, being resolved right there.
Okay, so if the cross is the climax, what was actually said there? You know, the final words from the cross are so often seen as a cry of defeat, like giving up. But the perspective we're looking at turns that completely on its head. It wasn't defeat, it was a declaration of victory.
So just imagine, at the end of this incredible struggle, what would you expect to hear? A whisper? A sigh of defeat? But that's not what happened. The final words from the cross were not a cry of defeat, but this powerful phrase, "It is finished." And the Gospels say it wasn't whispered. It was shouted, a loud cry that was meant to be heard.
This wasn't, "I'm done for." It was mission accomplished. A total declaration of victory. Now, to really get the power of this, that phrase in the original Greek is tetelestai. And back then, people would see that word stamped on bills and invoices. You know what it meant? Paid in full.
So what debt was just settled?
Well, that idea of a debt being paid in full breaks down into three huge takeaways. First, the price for sin, for all our wrongdoing, was completely paid. Check. Second, salvation, that whole cosmic rescue mission, was secured. It was a success. And third, because of that, the door to God was thrown wide open for anyone and everyone who believes. And this is where it all comes home to us. This isn't just some dusty old story to remember once a year. The way it's presented here, Good Friday is a living thing. It's a love that is actively asking for a response from you and from me.
And this is where it gets really personal, right? The story shifts from being about humanity to being about you. The source puts it so directly. The one who suffered, he suffered for you. The one who was crucified, he was crucified in your place. It's all framed as this deeply personal act of love, where someone stepped in to take your place.
And that leaves us with this final, powerful question. After hearing all this, what do you do with it? Are you just going to stand on the sidelines like a spectator watching a play? Or, as it asks here, will you bow your heart? It's a question that really sticks with you, and it's the one we're left to answer for ourselves.